is holding you from this space, from being here now. Let all outside distractions just remain where they are, outside. They will be there when you return. So for now, take a deep breath and be at ease. Imagine taking another person's hand right now. What it feels to have the sensation of their hand in yours. Is their hand warm or cold? Dry or damp? Smelling like fresh hand lotion? Sticky from ice cream? Do they have hangnails on their fingers? Or a jagged nail? Calluses? Or smoothness? Think for a moment about whose hand you're holding, now that you've recognized it. Think about what that person might mean to you, and why you might have chosen their hand to be the one to hold today. Think about what you might need from them or they from you. And perhaps that's the same thing. Send reassurance. In your mind, give that hand a gentle squeeze. Find a way to communicate that you love them, even if you don't even know who they are. Even if you decided to hold someone's hand that you don't even really like. Find a spot to love them. Find a way to tell that person, and thereby yourself, that all shall be well. That you are there. That it's okay. Because it is. It is. Picture the reassurance that you've just expressed as a ball of light that rises from the two hands and becomes part of our atmosphere, spread out along the entire sphere of our life. A permanent part of the bubble we live in. Part of the magnetic shield that protects us from too much light all at once. That tempers it so that we can comprehend it. Picture that reassurance remaining there forever. Undiluted, unalterable, permanent. Take one final breath and return. I now invite forward Carolyn Hochard for her message.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Give you a little more microphone.
Today I am going to bring to light how grief can be a gift. And when I conclude, I'm going to ask you to open that gift and to share it. The novel that I've written, The Stars We Could Reach, which we will be discussing in more detail after today's service, is a story about relationships, and it is a story about love. And where there is love, inevitably, there is loss. There is the loss of expectations. There is the physical loss of someone or something that we love. There is the loss of ourselves in our grieving. Susan, the primary character in my story, has long dreamed of motherhood. She is delighted when she meets and marries Paul, who promises they will start a family. Soon after their wedding, however, Paul has a sudden change of heart, and Susan finds herself devastated beyond all hope. She must conquer her mental anguish and learn to live with a broken heart that keeps on beating. Hillary, the secondary character in my novel, is more than a little surprised when she becomes pregnant after spending the night with her co-worker Peter on an away project. They move in together. However, Hillary's new life is far from what she imagined due to Peter's volatile behavior. The relationship is strained to the point of breaking when their baby is stillborn, and Hillary is left to cope with an earth-shattering grief. Susan and Hillary's courses are charted across the dark landscape of their separate sorrows, the stars illuminating the night sky and eventually guiding Susan and Hillary into each other's lives. The reader is taken on the journey of what each character discovers as she bravely sets forth. Spoiler alert, both Susan and Hillary discover the same thing. One of the main storylines in The Stars We Could Reach centers around Susan's suicide attempt. This topic is extremely personal for me because in this story, my story is revealed. My experience of suicide is revealed. My journey through the long, dark night of grief is laid bare. I believe that it is essential to share our stories around the heartache that devastates us, like a suicide attempt, or a stillbirth, or a terminal cancer diagnosis, so that others recognize they are not alone in the depths of their grief, that there is something on the other side of this. As we circle back to the deepening friendship in The Stars We Could Reach, we recognize the hope and resilience in each woman's spirit, and we notice a lucidity in our own hearts as Susan and Hillary ultimately come to recognize the gift they've been given in what they have lost. Listen to that again. The gift they've been given in what they have lost. The gift is forgiveness. The journey for each character, the journey for each of us, is about forgiveness. Because when we are in that long, dark night of grief, it is human nature to want to blame someone or something, God, the universe, for our situation. And in so doing, we may develop feelings of resentment or even anger or hatred toward that person or entity. Being able to find forgiveness in whatever form or timetable that comes brings us full circle. It brings us back to love. One of the most often overlooked characters who is due forgiveness, perhaps the one who is due the most forgiveness, is ourselves. To recognize and forgive ourselves for harboring feelings of resentment or anger or hatred toward another, or even toward our own selves. The hardest person to forgive is ultimately me. But when we are able to recognize that we are due our own forgiveness, it opens our hearts to self-love. And when we carry the light of self-love, we can then share it with our family, our friends, and our world, which is very much in need of that love right now. That is the gift I share with you today, to find it in your heart to forgive yourself, to find self-love, and to offer that love to another. Much like Susan and Hillary were able to share the forgiveness they found on the other side of their grief and the love that was left in their still beating hearts. It carried them, and it will carry us. Thank you.